within seconds. Or if a computer wants to open like 1,000 ports, you have to start limiting a possible number of open ports. Things like that.
Other thing is timeout. How if you have a connection and I don't see traffic flowing, how long do I keep state? How long do I actually establish those sessions?
Yeah, and coming back to the last question, actually, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think in Germany the data retention laws go into the direction that you have to actually log data.
Data retention is based on European law. So in the end, Germany, the only thing that differs is the amount of time you need to keep the log files.
Yeah, but in the end, it will turn out that you have to log each and every TCP connection and UDP packet and whatever.
Yeah, that's most likely.
Good luck buying that much of storage.
Yeah.
Don't we have the one box problem already? I mean, currently we are terminating the DSL sessions on backbone routers. I mean, it's already one box. And you can tap there.
Yeah, but the backbone router only looks at the address, forwards the packet, and basically forgets about it. Again, if you are as you're actually translating it, you have to cater for return packets to come back. So you actually have to establish a session because you know who sent you the packet, translate it. So
okay, I don't know how your network works exactly, but at least in Germany we have basically PPP over Ethernet, and you're having a tunnel terminating at this box, and so it's kind of a translation between the tunnel and the outside world already.
Yeah, whether or not you can call it, you could, with a broad view, you can call that translation, but it's more or less encapsulation, decapsulation of packets.
Of course, but I mean, you already have this one box in your. I mean, it might be two boxes or how many ever you're operating in your network. Yeah. But it's a very little number.
But the one thing that currently is happening that because I still have a public address tied to an end user, they're not actually interested in those log files because they can always, if they have the IP address, they can always find out who you are. But the moment I start translating, they no longer can find out who you are just by simply looking at the IP address, and I have to find out for them. So I actually get to wear a police hat and do some troubleshooting or prosecuting.
As you said in your speech, peer-to-peer file sharing will effectively be prevented by carrier-grade NAT. Does that mean, yesterday a speaker told us that about 50% of all internet users use peer-to-peer file sharing.
Yeah.
So I think your chances are pretty good that much more than the people who raise their hands will pay money for a real IP address to prevent carrier-grade NAT.
Yeah. But in the end, if we all pay extra money,
which means that there's just no other option.
In the end, a real IP address becomes a luxury only for those who can afford it. Yes. And what about Africa coming online in the next couple of years? Actually, the first cable is live, and I already saw postings from Kenya like, we're switching over from satellite to fiber. Expect some traffic growth, and traffic growth means that the prices go down, and if prices go down, all of a sudden lots and lots more people can get internet access there. And how they're going to do that, as Vesna told you, there's that /8, and every NIC gets a /8, and now we're talking about building a company in Nigeria because we can get all the IP addresses we want. But if all of a sudden Africa is online, that /8 is gone as well. So maybe put whole of Africa behind net, and we can keep on using it. Oh, all right, we've got one vendor. So anything else? I think it's quite useful to have this kind of discussion and actually flag this problem. And now you are aware, and I would say like tell the rest, and phone up your provider and tell them to start doing IPv6 and tell them you don't want to get stuck behind the net.
Hello, my name is Thomas.
Yeah.
I have the idea because NAT is evil, we all know it. And even if we translate 6 to 4, if the end user has IPv6 and wants to go to the rest of the internet, that would be a chance, but it's not the solution. In my opinion, we need a policy change, perhaps in the context of RIPE, perhaps as a measurement at the European Union, in that form that we say there's an extra fee to be paid for everyone who gives only IPv4 access, and if he gives both, okay, it's
taxing it. Yeah.
And from the income of the extra fee from IPv4, one could deploy the IPv6 connectivity. Thus, they get the money the others would pay.
Yeah, and basically, there's a couple of things we hate in the internet industry, and those guys are on the other side, and legislation. And what we actually did 2 years ago was, as a community sourced by RIPE, as the internet community actually put out a statement telling the government that no worries should be about the IPv4 runout because we will sort it ourselves. And you're actually now suggesting the other one. And yeah, one of the big dangers is, and that's basically one of the big dangers of not running IPv6, is that some government will get nervous and will decide for you whether or not to do it. And you might as well have a government saying, oh, well, put all your users behind net. Equal opportunity. In the end, IP addresses will cost money. And if from a historic perspective, I got a shitload of IP addresses. We were there in 1993. We've got enough. In the end, it's also a matter of anti-competition. If I got IP addresses and you don't, I'm already having a head start. So if you want to fund a new company, you have to get IP addresses and you have to pay for them. So yeah, you're likely, whatever happens, if we run out of IPv4, there is a little chance that governments will get involved and you will get anti-competition laws stating that you should share your IP addresses. Or maybe all of a sudden somebody decides that addresses should be portable. Whether we decide that it's provider aggregatable or not, I've seen governments do stupid things. Usually they don't know jack shit of what's happening. Sorry for my language. And they just... oh, well, they just invent the world. So, yeah, good idea, tax it, yeah, well, yeah. But in the end, still, if we start putting tax on IPv4, then again, it's a matter of whoever makes the most money, whoever gets the IP address.
Well, I think it should be made more attractive, and this thought was for end users and ESP. But I also think about mobile zip phone or so. It's unacceptable that a modern device you buy has only IPv4 access. It's not an investment for the future if I buy such a device. And perhaps one have to go the legislative way.
In the end,
that's my opinion.
In the end, it's sure. But yeah, I think in the end, it's